finally got my setup for this first video. I've been running around the house for about 30 minutes and found a good spot between two plants. So looking good. My intro video to who I am. So I am Jonah, for those who don't know, and I'm a personal trainer. I've been a personal trainer for about 1.5 years now. I just want to start this channel to just help tell my story, express myself, who I am, where I've come from, challenges I've faced just throughout my entire life, where I'm at right now, and so on and so forth. But I'm also going to use this to help kind of document my journey in becoming a business. I am starting my own personal training company, in the process of being a sole proprietorship, LLC, or a S Corp, or just doing research on which one of those would better suit me for what I'm trying to do. So I want this to be a resource for not only my clients, but really anyone who's searching for knowledge. There's a vast majority of free knowledge out there. A lot of people always are like, oh, why do I need a personal trainer? I can do it all on my own. There's so much free stuff. Yes, there is a lot of free information, but everyone's different. You know, if you're gonna do research, you're gonna find what works for someone else, and you're gonna try that, and you're gonna get frustrated, and the whole process that I can go into more detail later. This is just a general overview of what I am going to be doing here. Just a little bit about me real quick. I have been in the fitness industry really my whole life, unknowingly until recently, but I grew up an athlete and was always out competing with my friends, with teammates, with rival teams. Played football the majority of my life, but I was a 3-sport athlete. Little league and in high school. Football was always my baby, but baseball has a very close spot in my heart. I do miss baseball so much. And basketball I was terrible at. I couldn't score. I was just really good at defense. Mainly because I'm just too aggressive. And I think that's why I didn't stick with basketball, because I don't like how soft everybody likes to be. But hey, that's not my cup of tea. Everyone who plays basketball, I mean, good on you. I don't have the patience for it, honestly. Yeah, so I use sports. I mean, I had a pretty rough childhood, but who hasn't had a rough childhood? Everyone has their own traumas. It's really how you deal with it. And unknowingly, sports was my way to deal with things I had to deal with as a kid. I'll go into those details later, maybe. But yeah, I could have ended up in a very different place without having football to be my driver growing up for a long time. I wouldn't have gone to college without it. I wouldn't have got my degree in exercise science without it. Wouldn't have been in school without football. So I have a lot to be grateful for through fitness, even though it was sports, but it still drove me to find what I do love, which is personal training. All the good stuff that comes with personal training. I'm learning every day, and I love it. And I want to help express my love by giving as much knowledge as I can in my own form to help people understand it a little bit easier. Like I said, vast majority of information. I am not the end all be all for anything, but if you like me, I'll give you my opinion. Cool, awesome. I started in sports performance, and that was my first personal training job after my pro day. Pro day is just training to be a professional in football. Didn't go anywhere for that, sadly, but then they hired me on as a personal trainer. That's where I found I love personal training, but that's also where I found that I was a terrible personal trainer at the beginning. Being the beginner at anything is awful. It's not anyone's fault at my first personal training job. They're all awesome. I respect a lot of them. It was my own doing, so I had to leave. I'll go into that story a bit later, but that's how I kind of got started. I went from being the athlete in a training center to being the trainer to athletes, and that's where I found helping, being that person I didn't have in high school. I sank or swim. I had to learn on the job, and I sank for a while. Took time off, got way better at my job. Now I feel way more confident. I work with primarily general population now, focusing on muscle gain, fat loss, weight loss. My process is always very similar, but still tailored to people's needs. So the personal trainer, it's personal workouts designed for how people move, how many injuries they've had, what injuries they've had. I try to listen to everyone's needs, what their goals are. You come to me, you say you want to lose 50 pounds in a week, so I'm going to write you a plan how we're going to tackle it. A lot of people think that once you have the workout, then it's all hunky-dory, that you can keep going on do the regular things throughout your life that have kind of put you into that spot where you're like, all right, it's time for me to lose 50 pounds. My job is to help you understand that, yes, working out and exercise is a great first step. That just moving more in general is going to help with that. But there's also multiple levels of fitness that I want to help people understand, whether it's nutrition and supplementation. I'm not a nutritionist. I can just give general advice. Like, I cannot give you a meal plan. That is not my jurisdiction. I can give you advice to help either lower your caloric intake, increase your caloric intake, but I cannot tell you what you should be eating, which I'm totally fine with. I'm working on getting nutritionist certification through NASM. I have 3 certifications, which is awesome. I'm NASM certified, USA weightlifting certified, and PTA global in behavior change of exercise. We're all very helpful, very informational, and it's what I use to build my programs. Behavior change of exercise was probably one of my favorite certifications because it helped me understand the brain of the exercise, and it helps me understand people, why they have aversions to working out. Our brains are hardwired to avoid pain and seek pleasure. And it gave me a lot of helpful tips and tools to deal with that, to help people see that exercise is not just a painful experience. Yeah, sorry, I went on a little bit of a rant, but yeah, I love my job, I love doing what I do, and I just want this to be another resource is all. So where this is going from here, I am going to post my workouts on here. I post my workouts on my Instagram, which is JonahMitchell_fitness. I post my workouts there. Those videos are much smaller time frame, so I could talk a lot more on here, explain my thought process on my own workouts, how they're helping me, Hannah and her brother, explanations about certain types of exercises, certain modalities of exercise, like eccentrics, isometrics, progressive overload, the conjugate system, anything that I have had questions about, I want to explain here to help clarify any information or have a conversation with someone who has conflicting views with me. I love talking. Like I said, I am not the end-all be-all for things. I need to constantly learn, so I'm willing to go back and forth with people. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll own up to that. And just kind of, same thing, just kind of spread my knowledge as well as I can. This is going to be a fun activity for me. I'm going to show you guys how business is going, how building that is going. I think it's going to be awesome to watch this grow. I'm going to put a pretty good amount of effort into this, like I do everything. But yeah, that's me. Thank you for watching. I'm really excited, hoping for big things, and you guys are going to see it all. All right, thanks. Let's get after it.